who gets a chance inside a minute. 28 seconds go by, and Utah United establish a lead. La Rosa bagged his first goal of the season last Wednesday against Switchbacks in that win. He's got his second now, and it came 30 seconds in.
Yeah, just not where you want to be for Flatirons FC. It's been a tough go of things, and that one really doesn't help when you're adding that much, pressure on a team to get things started early. That's not where you want to be if you're Flatirons.
I gotta catch our breath. That happened quick.
Barely got the match underway, and already just first chance, first goal for Flatirons. Now it's about responding in a big way.
Shield for a goal kick. So let's get into starting lineups here. We started a bit late, but on the Utah side, Dakota Leben is the keeper, his third start of the year. The back line consists of Fernando Hernandez, Garrett Morris, Sam Nettenschneim, Ian Brinkerhoff, and then the midfield, Dominique Diaz, Max Sloan. Above them, Tyson Sharp, Miller Hall, Eli La Rosa, who just backed his second goal of the year, and Adonis Aigoué, the 21-year-old from Paris, France, is up top. Sport a 4-2-3-1 this afternoon. And on the Flatiron side, Charlie Lewis back in net after not playing the last home broadcast. And then Arlo Fillet, DePepe, Munson on the back line. Then the midfield five there, Landon Hughes, Dante Espino, Orozco, Cozier, and Smith. And then Sebastian Ortega and Troy Brown are the two up top for Flatirons.
Yeah, look for connection between a couple of players they brought down from USL 2 trainings, right? Cozier, Gio Orozco, Dante Espino, and Sebastian Ortega are going to be crucial to really getting Flatirons back in this game first off, and also creating chances for the Flatirons offense.
Trying to avoid a third straight home defeat, but they're already on the back foot. It's a 3-0 loss last Thursday to Colorado Storm, who scored all their goals late and within 7 minutes.
Yeah, talk about battle from a team. It's a team that played well and a team that defended hard for 75 minutes. Kyan Furtado Morgan had a great game in net for Flatirons, just couldn't get the job done in those final 10 minutes. Fell apart at times, a set piece that really allowed Storm back into it and allowed them to gain a foothold in the game.
Breaking here, slid and cleared by Landon Hughes. First touch and clear of the game for Dakota Leben, making his third start of the year. All appearances starts for Utah. Again, triple header today. Got the women's game next, and then the critical men's game. Huge one for playoff hopes and winning the Mountain Division. Kickoff at 8. Here's Nolan Munson. Did have one first-team appearance this year. First game of the year on the 23rd of May. Almost scored against CISA, that 5-1 win. Hughes. First push-up the other way for Flatirons. Gio Orozco. Switch of play, then turned over immediately. Chase down, Hughes took a stumble, and it's out wide. La Rosa, the goal scorer, inside 30 seconds. Flatirons actually had the lead in the June 1st meeting between these two. And then it was a first half equalizer, and that's all that came the rest of the way for both these sides. 1-1 draw. There's a shot near post. First sight of goal for Aigoué. As he danced in the area, the 21-year-old from Paris, France, spent 2024 at Salt Lake City Community College. He's transferring to Lubbock Christian University for his junior year. The first corner of the game. Couldn't get ahead to that in the middle of the area. Still free outside. Cross whipped in. Control by Adonis, and then knocked out for a goal kick off the foot of Tyson Sharp.
Much different team as well from those last meetings. And that June 1st meeting, Flatirons was traveling away. They didn't have as many players brought down from the USL2 side. Utah United, it's the other way around now. They've traveled here, and they've brought a pretty extensive roster from their USL2 side as well as their USL Academy players that are performing at a high level. So it'll be exciting to see these two sort of battle it out in the next 80 minutes or so. The important thing is you have to stay healthy if you're the Utah players because they've got a bit of a trip here in Colorado. They're making a round and playing a bunch of these USL2 and USL Academy games. So how can you stay healthy while also producing at a high level?
This is the first game of their 3-game road trip. They've got Switchbacks tomorrow, who again they beat 6-2 last week at home, and then they face Real Colorado on Sunday. Charlie Lewis getting the start today. We saw Furtado Morgan last Thursday against Colorado Storm. Lewis was back, though, for the Saturday game against Albion, which they lost 3-2. La Rosa. Good little challenge from Munson, but he breaks free. Across. Nobody could get a foot to it as that went through past Lewis, who gave it a dive, and it's out for a throw.
Yeah, good awareness from Lewis, but poor execution because he's got to get that if he goes out for it. You stick a couple of hands out, and if it gets past you, that's an easy tap-in for a striker at the back post. So if keeper, if you're going to commit to that and go out for a cross, you have to make sure you get contact, even if it's a slight little touch on it, just to throw the striker off a little bit.
Good. Utah haven't been great since that goal. Here's a ball through. It's one-on-one, essentially. Shot is in, and Flatirons have a leveler from Sebastian Ortega 6 minutes after the stunning opener from La Rosa, and it's 1-1.
I mean, Ortega's been on fire since he's made his way into this lineup. Last game against Albion. Goal 3 minutes in, an assist later on for that 3-2 scoreline. Flatirons would fall in that game, and he just keeps it up, right? It's a pure striker's instinct type of goal. He gets himself free, composes himself in a really good way. It's a great play from Flatirons, moving the ball out and around and forward before finding his feet. He stays on side, times his run perfectly, and then from there, as soon as he enters the box, it's what he does. He scores goals in training. He scores goals on the field as well. And
he scored last game as well. Scored 3 minutes in versus Albion on Saturday. Yet they lost that 3-2 in the end. That was a big goal to find an answer. This one over the top. Good header from the back line. And they won a free kick in their own end. Yeah, for Flatirons, it was a really tough start to the year. They just didn't have the right personnel, and that's what's kind of killed their chances very early. You look back to May when they lost 16-0, 13-0, 15-0, and then they brought in some reinforcements on May 31st, 4-1 loss to Red Wolves, who are the current division leaders. Then they picked up their first point in that meeting with Utah United away at Utah Valley University, 1-1 on June 1st.
And it's the nature of the league, right? You start a little bit earlier than USL League 2 starts, so you don't have those USL League 2 players available at your disposal. And Flatirons went into those first 3 games with a super young roster. I think the average age was right around 15.8 or 16.2 for those first 3 games. And you're going up against the likes of Utah Red Wolves, who were playing 22-year-olds, were playing 23-year-olds because of the new academy rules. That things changed a little bit in this league, and Flatirons adjusted and have been a lot more competitive since they've gotten those USL2 players down to help out.
There's a win. Brown lays it up. And a meaty challenge there goes the other way.
Yeah, really good work there from Gio Orozco. You've seen it a couple times now where he turns it over in the midfield, and immediately the first pass he's looking for is forward. Can he find Troy Brown? Can he find Sebastian Ortega? That's how Flatirons develops those chances, is you get opportunities in, you find the striker, you apply pressure. That's how this team wants to play. They possess, and then as soon as they turn it over, they want the ball back.
Orozco to deliver this free kick. A little 2-man wall in front of him, and then plenty of options to dive into the box. whips it in. Good clear. Nice foot there from Utah United. Back to DePepe, who switches play. Nice ball to Landon Hughes. Hughes with space. Cuts it back, and it's cleared out for a corner. First corner for Flatirons.
And what a ball there from Nick DePepe. I mean, sees that
Yeah.
run from Hughes a mile away and plays it perfectly. Great touch from Hughes to bring it down in space. And he did the right thing. Got to the end line, and instead of trying to force it in the box, he looked, tried to make a pass, and just got cut out.
First corner, 11 minutes in for Flatirons. It's a good ball, back post, and it filters through. It's a goal kick.
Yeah, and Dakota Levin's going to want that one back. They say as a keeper, if that ball bounces anywhere in the box, especially near that 6-yard box, that's got to be on you. And so Levin's got to call that off, get there first, and really be confident. Keepers are a protected breed in soccer. He's got to take advantage of that. Even if it's through contact, he's more likely to get the call than the offense is.
Knocked over the top in the way of Iguwe. Touch around Lewis. Iguwe. It's offside.
It's a good timed run, and Flatirons was a little bit disjointed at the back. Iguwe just stepped across a little bit too early. A fraction of a second, the difference between Fillet keeping him onside and him being offside, because DePepe was up, Munson was up, and Fillet kept him on just momentarily.
You would anticipate we'll see something like that again, a ball over the top in isolation for Iguwe. First of probably a few chances for him tonight. Just didn't time the run. This is back to Lewis, plays it short, near side to Munson. Munson's been reliable. Gio. Plenty of space there, and moves it out. And Utah jumped on the early chance, 30 seconds in, and then an answer a few minutes later as that goes out from Hughes.
Yeah, and Hughes has made a couple of these really active runs, shows that he wants to get involved in that final 30. He's playing as a wingback, so he has to come back and defend as well. But Nolan Munson has done a great job. Munson's a physical defender, and what that does is it allows Hughes the freedom to go forward a little bit more and allows him to trust that the back line's going to get the job done, and he can go out and attack and be creative.
Tyson Sharp moves it back, and he'll have his hands full, of course, near side, though, with La Rosa, who scored the opening goal. Number 5, you can see Iguwe, La Rosa, all pushed pretty high up. Nick DePepe tracks it down, sends it back to Lewis. Utah United new to the Mountain Division this year. Here's a hit from Miller. Had space, just knocks it wide.
Yeah, it's a good step in from Miller Hall. Has some space in the midfield, and Gio Orozco was a bit just a step behind. Recognizes where the open space is and fires a shot. It's a good shot attempt, just was nowhere near Lewis and net.
Miller Hall scored 4 minutes into that win last week. 6-2 over the Switchbacks. They'll face them again tomorrow. Free kick won by Flatirons. Quickly to Munson. Orozco dispossessed. Up to Iguwe. One-on-one battle. Gets around Fillet. Iguwe. Through. Oh, and a weak hit. Still alive. La Rosa, it came to him quickly and couldn't get a lot of power behind that. And then cleared up the other way. Chance to break, but dealt with. Tracked down by Garrett Morris.
Yeah, once again, last-ditch defending. Nick DePepe off the line, clears it away, and then just a scramble around to get it as far away from the net as possible. But at the end of the day, right, the ball's out of the back of the net. That's what's important for Flatirons in these early goings. You scored the most recent goal. You don't want to give that momentum right back to Utah.
Landed Hughes wins it back to Orozco. He just has to stab it away. These two teams 6 and 7 in the Mountain Division standings. Flatirons with a lone point in last place. Goal difference is not pretty. And Utah level on points with switchbacks just behind a single goal. Got a chance to jump a spot tomorrow as they face switchbacks again. There's a turnover. Chance the other way. Ortega, the goal scorer, turns around, allows support to build. Here's Hughes. Help came. Espino. Around one. Espino has a hit and a save by Leben, his first real test. Able to stop it. Yelling at his back line to wake up.
Yeah, I love the
Seems
intensity.
like a lot of time, a lot of space, and they got a pretty good look off there. So far, Flatirons, and when they get the ball in that attacking third, they threaten to score.
The important thing as a goalkeeper is you can't be loud just when you make the save, right? You've got to communicate constantly, and Leben's done a good job of that. You can hear him when the players, especially when Landon Hughes has made those runs, he's been calling for his defense to step on him and make the run and with him and not allow him the space on the byline, and the defense just hasn't responded to him right now.
Good little run through the midfield from Cozier. Other player brought down to help the academy. Same with Fillet on the back line. Sprayed out too far. Poor distribution from Lewis. He looked for Hughes.
Yeah, hasn't been the greatest of starts for Lewis. A couple of missed chances. Obviously, the first goal 30 seconds in wasn't really his fault. Chance right on the penalty spot, point-blank range, really, for a goalkeeper. But since then, feels like he's been a little bit under, whether it's the distribution, whether it's missing a couple of crosses.
La Rosa against Munson. Gets around Munson again. Cuts it back, and Lewis down to stop it. But La Rosa, he's going to be a problem for Munson on this near side in this first half, and second half it'll be a long day. Very creative, has gotten around him a couple times.
And you would look at the play as maybe you move Fillet out there to deal with La Rosa, but you can't do that because even though Fillet's got the experience of playing a collegiate season with Montana State Billings, he's transferring to Pueblo, then you leave the player right down the middle wide open in Adonis Igué. So you can't really move your center back out to the outside back spot right now if you're Flatirons.
Long ball, La Rosa couldn't control it, then Munson headers it away, but still well in play for La Rosa to dance. Good win by Flatirons. Hughes, space to run. Espino. Flatirons have Real Colorado next on their schedule. Okay, looking to avoid a third consecutive home defeat. Munson. Nice ball from Hughes. Over to Cozier. Back to Hughes. Little limp there as the challenge on Ortega was felt. Good possession from Flatirons. Trying to build up into possible go-ahead goal here. Found the equalizer in the 8th minute after Utah scored within 30 seconds. Up to Hughes. Espino a turn. Very composed so far in the attacking third, Flatirons. Pinpoint passing, that one not quite on point. It's in the direction of Ortega. Igué making the run against Fillet. And Fillet able to draw the foul as he did well to shield that ball.
Yeah, that's just intelligent defending, right? A player who knows the role, knows the body positioning, and knows how to work himself into a position that favors a call going his way rather than a call going the way of Utah.
Miller Hall. Chased by Fillet again, this time on the opposite side. Hall on that left foot, and it's right into the chest of Lewis. Fillet again having to win a one-on-one battle. Spent last year at Montana State Billings, transferring for his next season. Espino. Touch into the midfield and quickly won back by Max Sloan. Goal difference this season for Flatirons, -53. A lot of that damage, though, done in early May. Recently, it's been better, obviously. Just haven't been great since that 1-1 draw with Utah United on the road on June 1st. It's been 3 June defeats since that. Dominique Diaz. There's a weak shot. Tyson Sharp, who just wrapped up his freshman year at Colorado Northwestern Community College. 10 appearances, 9 starts. Munson searching for Ortega over the top, all the way through to Leben. Third start of the year for Leben. Good distribution out to Sloan. Utah Red Wolves currently the Mountain Division leaders. Behind them, Albion, who do have a game in hand, though. 2 points behind. Into the area. Cut back. Brown. Cozier on his left takes a couple of deflections, an appeal for a handball. And Sharp takes it the other way. It's a sharp pass. Miller Hall. Iguwe to his right. He's brought down. Points to the spot. And there's a chance to claim the lead again. Miller Hall just tearing through. He had 2 options to his right that were coming down the pitch with him. He draws a penalty there from behind. Otherwise, probably would have slotted that in.
Yeah, I still don't know how to feel about that tackle because it's one-on-one.
Yeah.
You've got Fillet there to help out, and your keeper's coming out to make a chance on it. I don't know if sliding in there, it seems a bit rash.
Yeah.
And we'll see what the decision is. It's Chase Smith talking with the referee right now. It just seems like a tackle that maybe you could have held off. He's got you beat on pace, but you trust in your goalkeeper to make a one-on-one save.
So looks like Tyson Sharp will be the one to take this and try and recapture the lead that was lost 7 minutes after the opening goal for Utah United. It's La Rosa and Ortega on the score sheet now. Sharp trying to add himself there.
And it's a yellow, so I think Flatirons got away with one there.
I think so. I was expecting a red.
Big slide tackle through the back. I mean, it had all the makings of the red. Obvious goal-scoring opportunity. I think Flatirons did get away with one there.
So Charlie Lewis is now asked upon to erase a big mistake. Tyson Sharp, the man he has to face. Tyson Sharp was a freshman in 2024 at Colorado Northwestern Community College. 10 appearances, 9 starts. Trying to net his first goal of the year from the penalty spot. Sharp v. Lewis. And Sharp recaptures the lead for Utah United. 2-1, his first goal of the year. They turn it in.
Yeah, calm, cool, collected, send the goalkeeper the wrong way. It's a great penalty when it comes down to it. But once again, a mistake that Flatirons shouldn't have made. You don't need to make that tackle. When you've got a keeper coming out, you have to trust in him and just cut off the angles as much as you can. Once again, I see the vision there from DePepe. If he's outside of the box, and you try and bring him down. But for me, just went a little too harsh, and I think you have to trust in Charlie Lewis to make that stop.
Yeah, The one good thing is it was not a red, so the game's not lost on that moment. And Flatirons have, through 25 minutes, they've looked good attacking. It's just been Utah getting 2 goals and the lead back. Well, they do have some pretty good threats over the top. Iguwe, Miller Hall, who was the one brought down in the area. Tyson Sharp as well. La Rosa. Sharp, the one who just bagged the penalty. As Flatirons look to respond as they did on that first goal. Hughes. Gio Orozco, too far for him. One back, Hughes tries to fit it through to Troy Brown. Had space to shoot there. Wanted the extra pass, and it's into the hands of Levitt.
Yeah, Hughes is a player who's not used to those situations.
Yeah.
He plays a little bit more as a defensive midfielder. He's playing wing back today. I think just that moment in the box, you think too much when you're not used to being there.
Eyes too wide. Again, Utah keeping that high line. Iguwe drops down to receive. Couldn't make the correct turn. Espino gallops ahead, lays it off. Ortega the turn. Moves it back to Nick DePepe. And that ball, Lewis not exactly ready for it, but
Once again, just got to have communication if you're Flatirons. Munson had time there. There was slight pressure coming like it is now, but you've got time. Take a touch, maybe play it out to Hughes if you can.
one player we don't see today that they had last Thursday in the 3-0 loss to Storm was Zion Lander, whose hold-up play gave him some hope. So far, the attacking play has been solid. Can they put a second through? Hughes has been a threat up that left wing, lays it off to Brown. Munson tried to feed the midfield. Such good stuff from Flatirons, and then one bad pass. And Utah can go the other way. They've got those threats up top. And have found a way through twice. La Rosa, the goal inside 30 seconds. Good win by DePepe. Looking for Ortega, who's on the score sheet already. Squares it into the side netting and goes tumbling into the little grass hill. Full sprint there to try and wrap that one in for a chance for Troy Brown.
Yeah, once again, Flatirons have been good in this game. It's been those 2 moments, right? Just one moment in the first 30 seconds. Team wasn't focused. They get in. One moment, Nick DePepe goes sliding in, causes a penalty. But overall, I think the way that this team has moved forward has been really good. It's just, can you connect that final pass in the final third? DePepe did a great job there. Got the interception, read it perfectly, took his space, and then played the striker. And Ortega did well to even just get a foot on it because that ball was running a little bit long. Great work there from DePepe.
Second Flatirons corner. This one is quite the looping ball. Took a deflection off the head of, I think, Munson there, who came up. So it's a deep throw for Utah. Half an hour gone. 2-1. And so, quick water break at the half an hour mark. 2-1 lead for Utah United. We'll step aside for a moment. Utah with the early advantage.
Balance. It isn't just essential in your sport, it's essential in life, especially college life. It's everything you need to thrive in school, in sport, and everything in between. The key is just finding a place where you can pursue it all, because the real beauty lies in the balance. If you want to win in every arena of college life, go D2. Make it yours. Balance.
Sterble Stadium, 2-1 advantage for Utah United. Half an hour gone. Sam Johnson alongside Arnav Pokral. It's been a very eventful game so far. Lots of chances on both sides. Flatirons, though, bottom line, they've looked good moving forward.
Yeah, I think that the passing play has been really, really solid from Flatirons. It's connecting in the final third and also not making defensive mistakes. It's been 2 lapses of judgment for Flatirons on the defensive side that have led to those 2 Utah goals. Other than that, I think Flatirons has defended well. Arlo Fillet has had his hands full, and he's managed to do a really, really good job of standing up 2 very talented attackers that he's facing down. Can the other defenders around him now respond and help his team move forward? Fillet has done a good job of intercepting balls. DePepe as well has moved the team forward. Where can this team connect the defense to the midfield, I think, is that next question.
Yeah, it's about 80 degrees today, clear skies, and quite a bit of wind. So, water break.
It is a little bit better today than it was last week. We had 2 water breaks and I think 1/2 of action, 4 water breaks in the entire game last week. So the weather is slightly better, but still don't want to take those risks. Allow players to stay hydrated, and half an hour in, I think both teams are going to appreciate a little stop to talk about how the team can shift its mentality maybe going into these final 15 minutes of the first half.
Utah today tried to string together consecutive wins. They got their first win last week, I should say, against Switchbacks 6-2 victory. And Flatirons trying to stop a skid. 3 straight defeats, 2 straight home defeats. Last non-defeat was a draw with Utah United on June 1st away. So the reverse fixture has been a little more goal-friendly. 1-1 draw on June 1st, 2-1 through half an hour. Utah the advantage.
And once again, I think the big thing for today is for Utah staying healthy, right? You've got a couple of trips now to Colorado. You've made these long drives before. The players know how to handle themselves. But can you still compete? And can you battle for those 50-50s? And can you win those 50-50s on a regular basis? I think is how Utah hangs on to this game. Maybe scores 1 or 2 more goals as well.
Seems though Flatirons are a little less mistake-prone, that they could really, not run away with this, but start to dominate. So deep throw out of the water break off that corner. Took a deflection off the head of Nolan Munson. Chucks it up. Header pushed along. And Flatirons are going to win it back near side. Sebastian Ortega, the Flatirons goal scorer, 8 minutes in. Hughes. Espino on the volley, and he drags it wide. Fell to that right foot. Had a bit of space. Couldn't quite work that one out.
But that's exactly what you need if you're Flatirons, right? Found a way to get the ball out wide. Hughes has been excellent today, getting down to the touchline, getting service into the box. If they can continue to do that, this Flatirons team has more opportunities on chances. Right now, it's about volume of chances. How many more chances can you get? How many more chances can you create? I think Landon Hughes is a prime example of that right now.
Up to Iguwe. Knocks away to Pepe. And there's the whistle. Iguwe was surrounded there, had to do all he could to win the ball.
It's just a little extension of the elbow, and I'm actually surprised that Iguwe didn't get away with that one. Usually they're going to call the extension of the arm when you get that elbow fully extended out. Iguwe kept it really close to his body, did a really good job of selling it as just shoulder-to-shoulder contact. The referee was just on it a little bit better.
Joust between La Rosa and Hughes. Hughes to take this throw-in. box over the head of Ortega. Espino has it the top of the area again. Gozier drags it to Hughes. Hughes, just not quite top-notch delivery. To Pepe, trying to probe in and gets dispossessed. Tyson Sharp brings a man down. Sharp scored the go-ahead penalty to make it 2-1. It was Miller Hall who was brought down. Only a yellow, though, for Flatirons. They did get away with something. Goes here at Hall on a leash. Wind is certainly a nice break through the heat. That is key, otherwise it'd be quite the inferno down there, especially on turf. Just, we've all experienced that growing up. If you played sports, turf is not fun to play on in the heat.
It just radiates right back up towards you.
Especially if you got black boots, feet just start burning. Flatirons trying to get organized for a push and an equalizer.
There it is again.
Long ball, what a switch to Hughes. Tough one to read off the bounce. He was offside.
Yeah, but once again, I mean, the ball from that diagonal ball from the right center back to Pepe to Hughes, it's been on every single time. And once again, you have to feel bad for the goalkeeper for Utah United and Lebanon, because he's been calling it out every single time. He sees it early. He wants his defense to shift over and get a stop on Hughes, and every time Hughes has been wide open on that wing.
And you're just waiting for Hughes to find somebody who gets in behind for the cutback cross at some point. Seems to be their way to an equalizer from what we've seen. Brown gets dumped. Again, Brinkerhoff that time the push. So a little word from the official. Our officials today: William Bailey, Samuel Gerlich, Bradley Miller, and Brian Yip. Hughes looked for Ortega. Good header to find his man. It's a tug on the jersey of Dominique Diaz, making his 5th appearance and 5th start of the year for Utah United, and the yellow shown. Second yellow of the game for Flatirons. First one maybe should have been a red on that penalty that Tyson Sharp tucked away, the bottom left corner.
And 2 yellows in 1 half is not where you want to be, especially with 2 players who are playing really, really good soccer. Nick DePepe now has to be really careful as a part of that back line. He can't make any more tough challenges. He can't go in for those 50-50s with the intensity that he would before a yellow card. So now, if Utah attacks that side, he's got to be wary of how he approaches his challenges.
Lebin, the keeper. 3rd start of the year for him. Jackson Dingus was part of the switchbacks game last week. Reserve keeper, actually scored a goal. 90th minute, 6th that they put past Colorado Springs.
Would have loved to talk to him about that. Was
Yeah,
was he on the
exactly.
field? Was he as a goalkeeper? Did he take a free kick in? I think there's a lot of interesting situations in which a goalkeeper scores a goal. We know he probably wasn't going to the box because they were up by a pretty considerable margin. Maybe he was playing as a field player. I mean, really anything could have been the case in that one.
Good hold-up play from Aiguwe. Now Miller Hall. Sharp. Shoulder to shoulder with DePepe. Sharp, tight angle there from corner of the box. That took a deflection, so it's out for a corner.
And DePepe, for not having the size advantage on a lot of these strikers and forwards for the Utah side, he's made up for it with his speed and with his tenacity on defense. He's been involved in a lot of challenges. He had the penalty call against him, but other than that, has had a pretty solid game.
Second corner for Utah United. Both teams with 2 corners now. La Rosa, first goal scorer of the day to take it. Punched away by Lewis, only as far as Sharp. Gonna save it. And it is out. Garrett Morris, the center back, who thought he could save that and whip in another cross.
Have to respect the hustle there. Yeah. I mean, you see a player sort of pull up in Munson. He wasn't really going for it. You can get around him and make a play for the ball. You know, you have to respect it, and Munson's got to see that one out a little bit better.
Morris played his senior year at Division I Southern Indiana. 7 appearances, 4 starts. Munson. Almost one off by La Rosa. Over the head and into the path of Troy Brown. Brown jostling, able to knock it over to Ortega, and then a whistle. Tangled up with Diaz.
Yeah, Brown did so well, right? Got there, made a play on the center back, touched it away, but then it's that extra shove at the end that you just don't need. As a striker, Ortega's already got the ball at his feet. You don't need to push your guy over when you've already won the ball back.
Iguwe making the run. Valet to cover. Miller Hall also there. Valet knocks it off. Iguwe falls right to Miller Hall, and then a good stab out from DePepe for the goal kick. Certainly fell, fortunately, for Utah United, but well dealt with by Flatirons.
It's about response now for this Flatirons team. How can they respond to sort of being on the back foot for a little bit?
Brown chasing, but 2 white shirts there to cover, and Leben to scoop. Just a couple minutes before stoppage time in this first half. 2-1 Utah United advantage. La Rosa played centrally. Diaz, Iguwe. Headed away by Nolan Munson. 7th start of the year for Munson. Signed to Colorado Christian University back in April. Utah pushing up, trying to find a third before the half. La Rosa and Sharp, the 2 Utah goal scorers. Ortega, the lone man for Flatirons. Chested. Good little hezzy turn by Sloan. Ortega into space. Smith tried to do a step over, lost control, and then cleared by Fernando Hernandez.
You can't knock on Smith for trying, but
Yeah.
the decision has to be a little bit smarter. He made a decision, he committed to it, and usually that's where you catch younger players is, you know, you make a decision, then you second guess yourself. He didn't second guess himself there, but the decision was the wrong one for him when he's got options in the midfield. He had Landon Hughes on the switch, which has been working so well for Flatirons today. You have to find what works and go back to it time and time again. And that one from Smith just wasn't the right move.
Orozco loses it out near side as we are into stoppage time in this first half. Iguwe knocks it up to La Rosa. Munson with a great steal. Troy Brown's been active up top. How big would it be to find an equalizer here? Return ball to Cozier, intercepted. Miller Hall, one defender being dragged. He gets free, try to play a ball through to Aigoué. If he had a little more heat on that, could have been a pretty good chance for the Frenchman. Espino drags it. Oh, nice little layoff there from Espino. His hold-up play has been fantastic. Ortega surrenders possession and then fouls Max Sloan. Minute and a half gone in stoppage time. The free kick takes a deflection, shouting at Hughes to go pick it up, but LaRosa's first to it. Touches it by Hughes, got held up, no whistle, back to Munson. And now they do blow it dead for a free kick. Hughes just getting in the way there. Last real push forward in this first half. Utah United trying to expand on their advantage that they first established 30 seconds in by way of Eli LaRosa, his second goal of the season. This one knocked into a vacant zone, and that is the first half in the books. Utah, the 2-1 lead, scored first 2 goals of this match inside 8 minutes, and then about 10 minutes later it was Tyson Sharp bagging a penalty after Miller Hall was brought down in the box. Sharp went bottom left to beat Lewis. Only a yellow, though, on that altercation for Flatirons. Any final first half takeaways, Arnav? It was promising. Can they find an equalizer will be the question in the second half.
Yeah, I think the important thing is, right, you played well, and you still have 11 players on the pitch. I'm still going to go back to that challenge by Nick DePepe that probably should have been a red. It's in the box. It's a denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. That one you got away with for Flatirons. Now can you take advantage of that? You still have Nick DePepe on the field. He's been excellent in the back line. Arlo Fillet as well. Munson maybe needs a little bit more to connect with the midfield. But how can you get in the final third with numbers? I think we've seen Ortega and Brown get up there. They're 1-on-4. They're 1-on-3. Can Flatirons get Landon Hughes involved a little bit more on the wing? I think that's where Flatirons wins this game, is outside, on the outside.
Utah in front, 2-1 after 45 minutes, back in 15. Welcome back to Sturmel Stadium in Golden, Colorado at the School of Mines. Utah United, after the first 45 with a 2-1 advantage, they scored inside 30 seconds with Eli La Rosa. A fairly quick answer, though, from Sebastian Ortega, a one-on-one slotted at bottom right-hand corner. And then a handful of minutes later, it was Tyson Sharp scoring a penalty for Utah to jump back in front. Only a yellow card given on a almost one-on-one chance, really. So Flatirons get away with something, but they trail heading into the second half. Sam Johnson alongside Arnav Pokral. Promising from Flatirons in that first half. They were great moving forward. Didn't quite have the finishing touch a couple of times, but they've shown promise. They should be able to find an equalizer.
Yeah, possession's half the battle in this game, and so Flatirons have done a great job of possessing through the defense, moving it out wide. Chase Smith, Landon Hughes have been crucial in getting the ball forward, but now it's about extended possession in the attacking zone, which Flatirons haven't had much of this game.
Flatirons in their all-black uniforms to start in possession in this second half. Utah United in the white and gray kits. Troy Brown to kick us off. Flatirons on the verge of a third straight home defeat. Their fourth consecutive loss. Brown pops a cork on the second half, and we're underway.
And Flatirons have talent in the midfield and some creativity in the midfield as well, with Gio Roscoe and Logan Cozier both in the lineup today. How can they utilize them to now create chances? I think they were a little bit underutilized in that first half. You have to get them the ball in space like they do now.
Feeding Espino. Tried to find the left winger Hughes, but right at the feet of Utah. Pressure on Cozier. Loses it. Charging through La Rosa. Good initial lunge and then cleared by DePepe. Nick DePepe, twins with Lucas DePepe. Was playing D1 at Merrimack as a freshman in 2024. Nick's been solid. There's been some tough moments on that back line with Utah United quick on the counter. Espino gets tangled up and loses it. Utah trying to string together their first wins of the year. They got their first win last Wednesday against Switchback, 6-2 at home. So first of 3 road matches for them. They play Switchbacks tomorrow and then Real Colorado on Sunday. Currently 6th. Level on points with Switchbacks, but worse goal difference.
And for being 2:30 in Colorado in July, I feel like the weather is also holding out pretty well for the guys. The wind's been picking up, which is pretty important for the team to, you know, stay locked in, stay focused in a match like this.
La Rosa cuts it back. Miller Hall, his turn of control was a bit wild, and now he loses it to Espino. Espino shielding, and he gets the quick whistle. Up to Hughes. Ortega and Brown as company. Hughes, look at this run. Wanted to lay it off as things closed in on him. Cozier. Here's Smith. Espino. Probing. Smith. Short cutback. Good press up here from Flatirons. Can they turn it into an equalizer? That ball just didn't really have a great plan as it was intended for Brown. Moved all the way back to Lewis.
Once again, promising, though, from Flatirons, right? Connection through the
Yeah.
midfield. You see Landon Hughes had a great run just to get things started.
1-2, back to Cozier. Smith might favor a cross. Try to cut it back. Will Cruyff turn and has it knocked out.
And just ran into his own foot there from Smith. It's been a couple of good runs from both the outside backs for Flatirons. Well, the outside wing backs for Flatirons. Chase Smith on the near side and Hughes on the far side. And it seems like that's where Flatirons is going to get chances from.
Yeah.
Whip crosses in. You've got a 6'4" striker in Sebastian Ortega who can get up and get to those balls that you cross in. He's got a height advantage on all three of Utah center backs. I think the play here is you get it outside, you play it in, and let the tall striker take advantage of his height.
Munson absorbed quite the goal kick there. Smith, good tackle, still a Flatirons throw. Hernandez got a couple of pats on the back from his teammates for that one. Cozier dragged it by Sharp. Through the legs of Cozier to Orozco. Couple of body feints. He gets away from pressure. Espino wanted the 1-2 perhaps. Gave it right to Miller Hall though. Aguwe up top there lurking. Will he have a breakthrough chance at some point? Cozier drags it onto his left. And a good push past that left post by the keeper, Lebin, making his third start of the year.
I think they've changed keepers, actually, Utah has at halftime.
That might be, is that?
A different hair color, yeah.
I think so. It's Jackson Dingus, I think. That must be him, the reserve keeper who scored last week against Switchbacks. The 6th goal was scored by him in the 90th minute. I told you I wanted to see him in today. Could be the difference. Third cross of the day for Flatirons. Was drifting back to Espino. And they want to throw. DePepe's had some great switch play today. That ball not quite on point.
I don't mind the service from DePepe, but I think the intention has to be a little bit better. Take a couple of touches, you have space. Get the ball on the ground and then play it out.
Sharp. Munson, little 50-50 ball. La Rosa trying to push him away from it. La Rosa wins it. La Rosa lifts it. Oh, it's on the line and they clear off the post. And now it's Sharp with a one-timer. That got blocked as well. And now it's the other way. La Rosa maybe a little too cheeky there. As we look at the replay, what a battle with Nolan Munson. Somehow wins this. Took a weird hit off the back heel. And then the lift. What a recovery to clear that away. Easily could have been the third. La Rosa, a real threat down that right wing. Would have been his second. He scored 30 seconds in. Would have been his third of the year as well. He scored in their last fixture against Switchbacks. It was 6 unique goal scorers, as we brought up the game a lot. Might as well mention that. A little slip from Smith. And Diaz slips into that space. Hernandez. Aguwe. Who's drifted a little further down to lend some support. Max Sloan, committed to play at Snow College in Utah. The midfielder chips one over the top to Miller Hall. Good jostle with Fillet. And a good shield. Fillet has won some one-on-one battles back there.
And that's that experience, right? Fillet started 3 matches to start the year for Flatirons before he got a red card against Utah. And, you know, Elstad and Van der Ven kind of stepped up in his absence and played some great soccer. And a formation change for the USL League 2 side kind of put Fillet out of contention.
Aguwe, back heel flick. Service is cut off by Munson and then knocked off the back of Aguwe and scooped up by Lewis. We'll see those dames you mentioned, Van der Ven, Elstad, at 8 p.m. for the men's game. A lot on the line there later tonight. Good hold-up play by Ortega. That ball too furious at the feet of Cozier. Aigué drags it onto his left. Dancing. Hernandez. Sharp. Scored the go-ahead penalty today. Drags one. Good save by Lewis. Some pressure from Utah United. They've nearly scored a third. Really pressing up to get that breakthrough and distance.
And once again, Flatirons are comfortable with the ball at the feet of the defenders. I think that's where you have to get back to that. What worked for you in the first half? Get it to Nick DePepe. Let him make that diagonal hit.
Didn't expect the pressure from La Rosa. La Rosa shoots, and he scored his second of the match. And it's a 2-goal cushion for Utah United. Eli La Rosa, who scored 30 seconds into the game today, bags the first goal of the second half, his third of the season. He's scored in consecutive games now. And that is one that Flatirons really could not afford to concede.
Yeah, and it's all off the back of the pressure from La Rosa himself.
Yeah.
He wins it in the midfield, turns it up, a quick little body feint, just gets it onto that favored right foot, and then absolutely lasers one past Lewis. Nothing that the keeper can do about that. Munson's got to do a better job of closing down the angle. Even if you can't get to the ball, you have to close off the angle to that far post and get in the way and just help your goalkeeper out a little bit.
And we noted that in the first half, as Munson has been taken off, that there were going to be a few more key battles between those two, and La Rosa has the quality to win them. And he nearly won himself a goal 5 minutes ago, finally turns one in now. What an impact up the right wing. La Rosa winning those 50-50 battles. Not sure who came in, we'll find out in a moment. But Munson off.
Wasn't the best of days for Nolan Munson at the back, but maybe some change will help Flatirons out. Maybe it's moving more numbers forward, get more attacking-minded players on as well.
So now down 2 goals, largest deficit of the day. They had an answer early, couldn't find one, and Utah jumped on the opportunity to grow their lead. On their way to a second consecutive victory. Would push them up the Mountain Division standings a couple of places. Move them up to 4th for now if they can hold on. Lots of space to move ahead for Orozco. Espino. Ortega. A little combination play. That ball slipping through to Troy Brown and cut off. Brown gives up the chase. Smith picks it up. Dives to essentially just pass it back. And now Tyson Sharp. Good ball. La Rosa able to read it. Trying to beat the substitute. La Rosa drags it, cuts it back. Lewis a save. Back post arriving was Miller Hall. And a good intervention by Charlie Lewis. Shielding here is Hernandez. Winning it is Brown. Then tries to cut it back and nutmeg him. Keeps it in though. Help arrives, and it's Smith. Dante Espino. A loose touch, but gets around. Now they can sit back and build up. La Rosa still slow to get back to his usual spot. He's covered a lot of ground today. Flicked on to Brown. It's offside. Ortega, the one who lifted that over. He's got the lone goal for Flatirons today. Scored at 8 minutes in.
But once again, Flatirons just taking too long in the attacking third. It's got to be 1-2 touch passing. In that run through, Cozier was out wide, and he's a player who is naturally a winger. He wants the ball out wide in those wide areas to make a cut in, dive in, cut on his right foot, and get those shots on net. And right now, Flatirons just aren't seeing those extra passes to get the ball out wide.
So one-touch passing through the midfield is fantastic, but then once they get to the attacking third, they lose it. So a change made by Utah United. They bring on get that sorted out in a moment. Meanwhile, La Rosa. Filet, able to clear it. And see who that is. It says number 21. Not sure if a reserve 21 was on the roster, but
They've got two 21s out there. We'll see.
could be Dimitri Larson, but I don't know. We'll figure that out eventually. But first change by Utah United. Both teams making one change. This is Dimitri Larson. Off the back heel of Filet. So number 21, Jesse Lorenzo Herrera, is the other change on this near side. To Pepe. Lifted. And Brown again, just two shirts there, can't win it. Able to make a couple of charges at the ball, though, and then a whistle.
You have to respect the tenacity there from Brown. He's made a couple of really good runs in.
Yeah.
He's battling every time he's near the attacking zone. It's just that he's always outnumbered, right? There's
Yeah.
always two defenders to just Brown alone, or there's three guys and it's just Brown and Ortega. So Flatirons, once again, if you can play it up to your striker, that's great, but you have to support him and allow him an option to pass it back to you as well.
Goal kick from Jackson Dingus all the way to Lewis, so keeper to keeper. We saw Lebin in net in the first half for Utah, then they made a change. There's another substitute who steps in to make a stop. Lorenzo Herrera. A little bit of cloud cover now. Just looked up at the sky, there's a paraglider up there.
I don't blame you when you get a chance to see the Rocky
Yeah.
Mountains. The backdrop here at Sturmall Stadium is one of the best in the league for sure.
Need him to drop in and score a goal. (3-1) Utah United. So we have surpassed the hour mark. Header heaven, and it falls to Ortega. And then again, Brown on a chase to no avail. This time, though, had to be knocked out by Jackson for a throw. So, chance to push up here. Can they find a goal to get themselves back into it? And back in the chase for points. Flex off La Rosa, another throw.
Flatirons have done a really poor job of swinging the ball around. They keep continuing to play in space, in tight spaces, really, when you have all the space like Chase Smith does here, to work out wide and get the ball away from danger.
A risky play there back to his keeper, but it works out for Hernandez. Aguwe pressing up, back to Lewis, who trots back. Under half an hour away from their third straight home defeat, Flatirons. Gio Orozco somehow got through. A shot by Ortega, hunting for his second goal of the day. A good save reaching out, Jackson Dingus.
Yeah, it's been a couple of times now. There was one early on in the start of the second half, and now that one too. Dingus has done a great job of diving to his right and getting the ball down and away from danger. for Flatirons, it's a couple times now. You've gone to his right. Can you go to his left? Maybe force him to pre-step a different way.
Utah United certainly on the upswing, and so far off to a good start. Their second road trip of the year. They've got switchbacks tomorrow, Real, Colorado on Sunday. Switchbacks who they've already beaten last Wednesday. And Real Colorado currently sits third with 12 points in the Mountain Division. Ball deflects out to Herrera. What are the changes in this second half? Larson another. Time soon running out on Flatirons here. They have to find one relatively soon to give hope for a second to perhaps salvage points at home. Espino. Good vision, cut off. Miller Hall. 2-on-1, he shoots and he's put it through. Miller Hall makes it 4-1. Did a little somersault at the end. He had support to his left, took it himself, slotted it on the left side. Another unreachable ball for Lewis. And Utah, another goal as they've tucked this one away and secured the 3 points.
And 2-on-1 at the back line, don't know how that happens, right?
Yeah.
One player steps up and fillet. There has to be two back guarding the two runners, and then all of a sudden it's just one player. It's Nick DePepe all alone. He's got to track someone. He does make the right decision to go. He's a step behind. And either way, whether it was Hall shooting that himself or if he had the lay across as well, either way, one of those options leads to a goal. So Flatirons really poor there on the back end.
Herrera with a beautiful turn. Larson, as Utah hunt to pour it on. Scored 6 in their previous match against Switchbacks. In the home meeting with Flatirons, it was a 1-1 draw. They seem to have found a bit of form here, Utah, after a poor start to the season, trying to climb the division. This is a big road result. Kazier finally wins it back for Flatirons. Nice slip through to Smith. He was trying to retain balance and eventually goes down and loses possession. Nice to have the cloud cover now for the final 25 minutes. We've got 2 games left today. The women's side and the men's side with the main event means quite a bit in the Mountain Division. Flatirons trying to defend their crown from last season. It's going to be a tough challenge. They beat them at home, though, in their first meeting.
Conditions were a little bit different than they are today, for sure.
No doubt.
We'll see a lot cleaner of a game between the USL League 2 sides, between Flatirons and Utah, because of those conditions being so different than they were at the beginning of June. When it was downpouring, we had a water delay to shovel water off the field. I mean, chances were happening just because the ball would stop right in front of the goal.
Yep.
It'll be an entirely different scenario tonight. I don't think you can take too much stock out of the matchup that happened the last time. And both goal scorers from that matchup for Flatirons, and Shun Nakajima and Jacoba Betancourt Tavar, not in the lineup today. So a big change for Flatirons moving into the final 4 games of the season.
Utah United made 2 more changes. Get those names out in a moment. Free kick service from Diaz. Looping ball. Falls past everyone. Near side they bring in Arat Rodriguez with the orange boots. And far side, Ali is also in. I'm happy we got Jackson Dingus in and Ali in for Utah United.
The two names we were looking at, we were like, we got to get them on the field eventually, and so.
Here they are. First joust from Ali, and he wins it. No reason to let up if you're Utah. Hiller Hall, the most recent goal scorer, moves it up. Knocked off Larson, back to Hall. Getting around is Rodriguez. Chips it ahead. Herrera tracking down his Fillet, and a very controlled touch. He was blazing in to just knock that into the corner and clear. Almost didn't have enough on that, but just able to get it back. And the switch play by Hall. Captain Ali will chase. Good foot there from Chaz Reeves. Almost the whole lineup has been reworked now for Utah. Plenty of subs being brought on.
In a game like this, these are important minutes for these substitutes, and
Yeah.
they're not going to give up just because the scoreline's the way it is. Every sub has a chance to prove themselves, and so for Utah, don't expect the level to drop, don't expect the intensity to drop, because these subs are on for a reason. They're trying to prove something to break into the starting 11.
We'll take a water break here, second of the day. First of a triple header, and Utah in firm control. 2 goals in the second half. They lead at 4-1.
Balance. It isn't just essential in your sport, it's essential in life, especially college life. It's everything you need to thrive in school, in sport, and everything in between. The key is just finding a place where you can pursue it all, because the real beauty lies in the balance. If you want to win in every arena of college life, go D2. Make it yours. Balance. It isn't just essential in your sport.
Back at Sturmel, water break through the heat. Not too hot today, hovering just below 80 degrees. We've had some cloud cover, but what hasn't been so great is the second half for Flatirons. Not a lot offensively. Attacking third has been abysmal, and Utah United with 2 grade A chances that they tucked away. Miller Hall most recently, and before him, Eli LaRosa bagging his 3rd goal of the year. Chance for points lost, but you'd like to see them play a little bit better to close this one out.
Yeah, and I think the important thing is, right, as substitutes continue to filter on, to keep the level high and realize that even though it is a 4-1 game, there's still a lot to look forward to for this season. And got a tough matchup on Saturday against Real, who's another very, very talented side. But it feels like every game that Flatirons have played as of late have been winnable. You had the 3-0 against Storm, where all 3 goals were scored in the final 15 minutes of play. And same thing tonight, 1-1 until the 25th minute, and that penalty leads to chance after chance after chance for Utah. Now can Flatirons gain momentum in a game and maintain it is the question for the next matchup on Saturday, and really every matchup after that. Switchbacks after that, and then an away match against Storm to close out the season. A lot to look forward to, but a lot that the team can build on as well.
Chance to highlight our officials one more time. William Bailey, Samuel Gerlich, Bradley Miller, and Brian Yip. Utah, a 3-goal advantage. It was a tight affair heading into the second half, but they've stretched it out and out of reach likely. And this win will shoot them up the Mountain Division leaderboard, put them in 4th place for now. Colorado Storm with 8 points. This would put United at 9. Switchbacks, who have already played 6 matches, 6 points, and Utah United, fewest matches played. This is only their 6th game of the year. Utah Red Wolves in the top spot right now, but Albion's got a game in hand, couple of points behind. Long way to go, but chase still on. Big pickup on the road for Utah United. 2 more away games this weekend.
And it's actually the exact opposite in League Two. United actually have the most games
Yeah.
played. They've got 10, and they're 5 points clear of Flatirons, but Flatirons have those 2 games in hand, including a game tonight, which won't count as a game in hand, but Flatirons would still like to see a win.
What a service, what a touch by Landon Hughes. Ortega back to Hughes, cuts it across. It's offside again. That was threatening. Landon Hughes, give him his flowers on that run. The control and the little connection with Ortega was beautiful, just offside in the end.
Yeah, this has been Hughes' game so far, and I'm surprised that Flatirons haven't looked to him more in the second half. He started the second half with a really good run into the midfield, found options after that. Same thing here. When he gets the ball in space and he can look up and pick his head up and make a decision, I think that's where he's at his best. And when he's running at full speed, he has the conscious of mind to lay off a pass and make a continued run. And that's been really important for Flatirons in the offensive zones.
I think that's, I would agree, what's been most impressive, his control at that speed. DePepe moved on through. Herrera gets it back in the end.
Got away with a handball there. He was well in the stride of motion, and ball hit off of his knee and up off of his arm.
So now the free kick for Utah. Rodriguez. Cleared by DePepe. Couple of black shirts chasing it up. Ortega the control. Orozco. Cozier. Plenty of experience for the USL 2 side. Brown. Absolutely engulfed. They do win a corner.
Yeah, Brown's been another player who really hasn't had the best of service, but with what he's got, has done a good job of holding play up, connecting. He's got a couple of touches around defenders today to add on to that highlight reel if you want to make one from this game. But for him now, it's about, can you get in a scoring position and put one in as a striker?
Dante Espino to take. 3rd corner of the day for Flatirons. That one came in with some real pace. Nobody got a decisive touch. DePepe the throw in far side. Orozco was surrounded, and there's a kind of hesitant shot in space from Chase Smith.
Yeah, need a little bit more there if you're Flatirons trying to, not going to get back into the game at this rate, but maybe just build a little bit more off of what's been working in the second half.
Smith has been laboring a bit in the second half. 6 appearances, 6 starts this year for him. Headed to Pfeiffer University in North Carolina to play Division III, team that won the Division II national championship a while back. And Smith did not like that. It's been a rough day, especially this second half.
Yeah, you go into halftime only down 2-1, and you think, hey, we had a goal already. We've scored against this team. We've played well when we worked the ball out wide, but Utah just shut that down in the second half and take advantage of 2 turnovers in the back by Flatirons to score those 2 goals.
Miller, who jumped on one of those turnovers as the most recent goal, draws another free kick. Final 12 minutes or so. Utah comfortable to sit back, but they'd also like to score another, especially with these substitutes getting their opportunities on the field. Flatirons will look ahead to Real on Saturday. The question then is, can they avoid a fourth straight home defeat? Home opener was last Thursday against Colorado Storm. And he mentioned then, right? I mean, could have been a win, a draw at least. But final 15 minutes, and it was a storm of goals. Intercepted. Larson was dispossessed. They've got that covered, though. 3 white shirts there. Back to Larson. Miller on the score sheet today. Finds Ali. So shot right at Lewis. Knocks it down. Herrera tried to slip in behind. Ortega flicks it ahead to Brown. Brown wins it. Troy Brown. Menacing push up the pitch, and it's one off of him again. Only as far as Espino was to clear. Espino might need to take his chance on goal at some point. Certainly had the space. Smith intercepted. Alexander Kyan. Herrera. Plenty of space to cross for Herrera, the substitute. Outside the boot, just over the head of Miller. Falls to Ali. And Lewis covering near post. Not the cleanest strike from Ali.
Yeah, but once again, dangerous chance, and it comes off of a Flatirons turnover. Smith with an errant pass as part of that back line. That's one that you have to push forward, or you don't play that pass. You have space, you have time. You continue to wait and then play that pass to a more secure location. It's been every single time it feels like Utah has a chance going forward. It's been off of a mistake from Flatirons.
Chase Smith was a pretty good option near side, but it's one off of Cozier. Kind of good turn. Now it's Ali. Didn't really have a direct plan there, but wins a throw. 4 potential late Flatiron subs getting warmed up as well. Eight and a half minutes before stoppage time. And at this stage, it's Flatiron searching for a consolation goal. So much promise at halftime that they could have even potentially won this, but shut down fairly quickly. La Rosa and Miller, 2 of the best on the pitch for Utah United, burying the match. Filet, one of the more experienced on this academy squad. Nutmeg on Ali. Utah win it. Jackson Dingus, the reserve keeper, subbed on at halftime. We saw Lebin to start the match. Both have been solid. They've done their job.
Yeah, nothing to complain about. The one goal that was given up, it was a one-on-one chance, and Ortega's got experience. He's a good striker.
Ali with a classy turn. Gets around his defender twice. Still picked up. Then out for a corner.
Yeah, that's Xander Archuleta. He was one of the first subs for Flatirons. Came in for Nolan Munson as a part of that back line, and really since that, it feels like Flatirons have been a little bit better in terms of just staying calm at the back. Munson didn't have the greatest of nights tonight.
Yeah. Here comes another Flatirons change. They bring off Sebastian Ortega, the lone goal scorer today for the Irons. And on comes Marco Polo Villaseñor as the replacement for Ortega. Up top, Utah get a head to it in the box off the corner from Ali, but straight over. Took a deflection, so they'll get another chance. Trying to find a fifth. Help out the goal difference just a bit. The women's game next, and the men's game, 8 o'clock kickoff time is what's scheduled. And it is quite the match. Lot on the line in the Mountain Division. It's a long hit that went all the way through, but harmless off the foot of Miller. And despite 4 being put past Charlie Lewis, the majority of the stuff today, not his fault.
Yeah, a lot of one-on-ones for him, and maybe you save one more of those, but even
True.
then, that's really a tough ask for a goalkeeper when you've got 3 or 4 one-on-one opportunities against you time and time again.
Turned over again. Chase Smith gave it up. And finally took 3 shirts to stop Alexander Kayan. Five minutes left. 4-1 Utah. Chase Smith has really been laboring. Orozco a little bit behind Espino, but he gets it right back. Right outside the boot, try to fit it through to the substitute Villaseñor. And after a long effort on the ball, finally brought down. Cozier around Ali. Stuck a foot in. And they do draw perhaps one last corner here for Flatirons. Hughes launches it in. Chase Smith back post didn't quite have the tenacity to jump on that and take a hit or control as it goes all the way past him. Trace Smith, who was asking for a change a couple of minutes ago, now goes down. I think he felt the cramps creeping up. Seen some wincing from him in this second half. Hasn't been at full potential, full strength.
Yeah, it feels like he's been asking for a sub since almost halftime.
Yeah.
He's been limping pretty hard.
Looks like there's going to be 3 coming on here for Flatirons. They've made 2 changes already. So really shake it up in the final few minutes. And here come the changes. Quite the entourage here. So Smith off. Makes way for Dominique Ebeta. DePepe's going to come off as well. And so is Cozier. Xander Drobish, number 15, on, and Connor Calkins, I believe, number 20, is the third sub. So the big swath of changes coming at the 88th minute. A little bit of window dressing from here for Utah United to secure the 3 points. Roscoe elevated, lost it. Miller's down now, holding near the back of his head.
That's when they have to stop immediately as soon as the referee sees it, because it's a head injury. You have to stop it. So they'll take it back, take a look. And like you said, I mean, at this point, just see it out. If you're Utah United, play comfortable in the back, possess and move, and don't overextend yourself, because you've got a game pretty soon after today as well.
Yep, tomorrow against Switchbacks. What a day for Miller Hall, though. And last week, even, he scored 4 minutes into their first win of the year last Wednesday against Switchbacks, who they've got tomorrow. And today drew the penalty that Tyson Sharp scored to go ahead in the first half. Then scored his own goal in the second half. The second of the year, one-on-one off a turnover at the back. And they'll examine him momentarily after he was grabbing near his head. Went up for a header, and it was a little bit of a collision. Ali. A throw for Utah. Beautiful day, minus a few degrees of heat and the wind.
I thought you were going to say beautiful day minus a few of the goals being scored for the
That
away
too,
side.
that
But
too.
either way, I mean, you're right about the weather's
Yeah.
perfect. It's a great day to play soccer, and can't complain about the conditions at all.
At least we won't have a repeat of the waterlogged pitch later tonight. Spinona, pleaser. And Utah go the other way. Minute and a half into stoppage time. Substitutes to see this one out. Okay, just the first of a triple header today at Sturmel. Arnav on the call for the next two. It should be pretty interesting in their own unique ways.
Long day of soccer ahead, but can never complain when you're watching some good soccer at a beautiful facility.
Full time for the Academy match at Sturmel, first of the triple header, and Utah on their way to a possible sweep this evening. 4-1 win. They got 2 in the second half to close it out after leading 2-1 at the break. And it's now 3 straight home defeats and 4 total consecutive defeats for Flatirons. And it's now 2 straight wins for Utah United as they jump up into 4th place in the Mountain Division with 9 points. Final takeaways, Arnav, from this game. We've kind of run through it all, I would argue, but
Yeah.
if you want to give a little look into the next 2, perhaps what you'd expect there, and how they can avoid a sweep at the hands of Utah United at home.
Yeah, I think first off, for the Academy team, I think, you look back at the first half and you are pretty pleased with the performance. And I think the second half really broke things open because of mistakes at the back. And we talked about that all game long, is mistakes at the back and how they can hurt a team. And Utah just took advantage. And that's exactly, that's what the game of soccer is, right? How many more opportunities can you take advantage of? I think Utah did that more tonight. And I think, You know, the women's game will be tough because Flatirons will come in with a pretty thin roster, and Utah's one of the best teams in the country. And I'm really, really excited for this men's game tonight. Flatirons will be down a couple of guys that played the last time these two teams met. Utah, I know, will be bringing a pretty strong line in. But Flatirons have also added some guys in, a couple of guys that came in later. James Doige is back, real star for the team last year, who was going through surgery and is now back and fully healthy. He'll be on the bench, as well as Demetrius Leo is another one, a Greek player from Lionsbridge FC, who are doing a great job up in the Northeast. Came back to be a little bit closer to his new college in UCCS. So a lot of soccer to look forward to on Sports Engine Play in the next couple of hours, and we'll be here for a long time today at Sturmel Stadium.
1 down, 2 to go for the triple header at Sturmel. As for Arnaud Pokrell to my left, the rest of the production crew, I'm Sam Johnson saying so long for now from Sturmel.